Today we talk to the Minister for Basic and Senior Secondary Education. We now Conrad Sackey. We therefore talk about the preparation we the ministry they put in place now for school in reopen one. For sake of that, I want to welcome on the studio. Good morning, Mr. Sackey, and welcome to the program. Good morning, Salon.
Good morning, Fambulem. I'm glad you're there today.
Okay, as we tell listeners and viewers of Radio Democracy, school expects for open Monday. Our preparation don't sound like.
Well, preparation they go on as usual. All the things we can ask school them for do. We continue to do that. Of course, you know that there is an issue around some school subsidies and some other issues that we school leaders and raise. We work with them on these issues for make sure that we get a resolution of this before school open.
So, how short you did, or how sure the ministry this is school open as slated Monday?
Well, as I say, we work on these issues. Positively optimistic that the school will open as normal.
Positively optimistic. You see any drawback?
Well, there is a number of valid issues. We go through collaboratively. So I meet with the Leone Teachers Union about 2 days ago. With the affiliate groups, you get the NACOT, the National Council for Head Teachers, and then you get CPSS, and we go through line by line the various issues that we then raise, and we try to find solutions where everybody will agree with. So just on the school subsidy aspect, I work with the Minister of Finance. As I sit down right here now, they don't begin pay subsidies for the second term. Then they process the subsidies for the third term. And so we will continue to do that from now till school open.
Talking about some of you, as my colleague right later asked you, say the ministry don't prepare for make school open. They say when I don't put. I'm talking about some of the challenge them. We say then teacher there and then principal I don't bring to you. Waiting on some of the challenge them where they don't bring because now some of them say them we talk say go make them not able for go make them not open school so the same way governments don't put when next week Monday.
Well, the primary one now for make government pay subsidies for second term and third term. As I say, then they'll begin pay subsidies for the second term and they process the paperwork for the third term. The second one we then they raise issues around the lack of teaching and learning resources with not then at the school them. But that we don't talk about that, Andy, and later on in the program I will just throw some light on that, Andy. In some cases there are valid reasons why teaching and learning materials not there as it should be, because we introduce new curriculum with and other things. They also raise issues around assessment and promotion of head teachers, principals, vice principals, and all of those. We don't sit down, we don't talk, we don't find a way forward on that, Andy. There is also issues around the teacher that will be removed from the payroll. Again, with Andy, you know, we get a technical working group made up of the TSC and the Sierra Leone Teachers Union. As a result of the engagement, we do reinstate 1,802 teachers back on the payroll. Then teacher then they go receive their salaries, so they not go lost nothing. There are about 3,098 teachers where we still need to go through a rigorous process for know whether they are ghost teachers or they're existing teachers but not be there at the school at the point where they do the verification. So with that we have an agreement, they move forward on that, Andy. So these are some of the issues that we then do.
You make mention of the Minister of Finance, they work now for pay second and third term school subsidy. Will they talk about the coming academic year or the past?
It's the past.
The past?
Yes.
Government still waiting for pay the third and second term school subsidy. How comes the ministry day in such an area where we think about another academic year, you still think for pay second and third term for the last academic year?
I think we need to be brutally honest with ourselves. You know, there are a number of issues. For example, we know that, for example, you get MPOX. We know to something where government predict, but government therefore respond to that because now health issue, and you therefore take it seriously if you want your economy for still continue for move. Then they require significant resources on government finances. We also, as you know, we began some problem with WAS, and we made a commitment the last time, so we will pay for the beginning for take the private WAS. Just for tell the public, we will pay for private WAS. Now 300% the cost of the normal WAS. We will pay for thousands of beginning. That was a cost that we did not bargain for. Some of these things do have an impact. Now, budget we talk about. You know, that's the peak money just like that. If you not plan for something, you get some additional expenses. It gets an impact in how you cash flow day. So, but having said that, we are on track. We will make sure that the Ministry of Finance will give me some assurances that we will work together for make sure that we get things in place before the new year.
Mr. Minister, some of the teachers that will be talked to them, they is concerned about this subsidy, say not to the first 10 days, because according to you, they say we government gets forget between them, wait for response to the NPOX and other one them. Say anything we school can open, I can just pay for first term, second and third term, and not can pay. They say this is no new.
There have been instances of that in the past, but where will it go forward? We have a strong commitment to make sure that we make do with what we have to do.
The other concern that we teacher then they talk now that the subsidies where government they give in small, outside there is concern say like government watch and back more for pay for picking them. Instead of the 30 loans, they add them to 50 loans for primary and 70 loans for senior secondary school. So then concern then they be rich, you will be mixed with them.
Well, to be honest with you, when you talk about budget issues, it's not an issue that does the Ministry of Education they deal with. For make you approve that, you get to go through the normal budget process. As you know, all ministries they go through the normal budget process now. But if you get for increase a budget, you get to go through some serious consultation with the Ministry of Finance. One of the things that I really would like for level do before school open now for make we the union, me and the Ministry of Finance meet and review some of the issues that we then raise. But I also think when we talk about subsidies, I don't think it's just an issue of just raising subsidies just like that. You get for fence until we're effective, we're efficient, we will give you the results where you need to get for the increase in investment. So this is not something we will get a deeper dialogue on going forward.
So, Mr. Minister, government still legate 22% of the country in budgets to this sector?
Absolutely.
So the school subsidies that we talk about now, what will they cost the Ministry of Education, and how much schools them would they talk about across?
So roughly per term it costs me roughly about 54 million. The last term
dollar or loans?
Loans. So what happened the last time we get some discussion with the unions and we decide say we get a technical group. We go look at some of the issues that we raised before, where you can get some school, we go get subsidies one time, then the next time they not get. Through that process, it seems as if we have increased it now to 60 million. These are things that we need to go into fine details. But on average, subsidies about, let's put on a middle basis, about 55 million per term for all the system. Yes.
For listeners, what's in the use or the essence of this subsidy?
Well, these are the money where the school is supposed for use for run the school on a daily basis. So the maintenance costs for paid and auxiliary teachers, auxiliary staff, but also community teachers where they can get stipends and they can That's the subsidy day for. We actually get a manual. We spell out very clearly what the subsidies need for, what he did it for.
Most times when you attend then parents teachers meeting, now most schools them, they ask parents them for contribute money for them teachers that we don't mention so, and also for run some of the activities of the school and make a deliberate ask you the essence of the school subsidy. But you find out say most times the parents that are in the shoulder burden of the issues here. So what in the Ministry of Education they do in situations like this?
Well, I think part of the discussion we will get now, I don't think you should be asking parents for pay for the internet because government they pay.
But yeah, we are saying they pay.
I've had some instances of complaints, and we would investigate and take appropriate actions. If it's a voluntary contribution, then of course it's a voluntary contribution. You know, ask nobody, not put anybody under any pressure. And if somebody want to make a contribution to the school, of course, that we are a good citizen should do that. But at the same time, if not something where you they make demands, and some channel we then go tell you say the demands we then make now demands for extra classes and that kind of thing, and the way it's not allowed.
Okay, Mr. Minister, let me say the NPSC results been come out. We've been so side different interviews them been starts. Outside picking and go interview for different schools them. And we report them we gonna different side them na Freetown different school them. And one challenge where parents them they don't they raise now the excess money where then they ask for, even though the picking then they sit for that school day. The ministry be in any way monitor for say this process, the interview process what the school and be schedule in happen, and some of them concern ya wanna be hear about them.
Well, me personally no hear, but none of them concerned them they as of now. But let me say this to you: one, for make sure say we manage the money that we school and they ask parents and for make, we get a what we call a price list. We'll put together for all the essential additional things that you need in our school. So for example, free quality school education, not the cover uniform. So parents will get for buy uniform, then go buy badge, then go all the thing and all of the thing and then our price list. That price list they not so we no more they make the price list now the ministry with the call with the work in collaboration with the conference of principals for make sure say the price list reasonable. What you start for do as of last year is also for send the price list to the Ministry of Trade so that they will give you concurrence. In other words, they give you an assurance that the money where the school then will ask for no will be over and above waiting at the average market rate for the commodity then they. And all school for publish the price list day, so parents then go know exactly what they need for pay for. If it additional to that, then I think parents then for report back to the ministry.
So what's gonna be the price list where una give then school they wanna pull for the different item them, because some schools then they where we report are then gonna different side. Then they tell you say okay, you became don't get this mark, but all thing they give uniform and ceremonial book and all thing you forgive 5,000. So it's not the price list for the difference in there.
I definitely I not say enough for each fight. I not get the price list with me at the moment, but I not say definitely enough for be 5,000. And so if anybody gets any concern, I would advise them for contact the ministry. We go investigate and we will take appropriate actions, because no school not for extort money from parents.
Somebody now with Facebook page, Ambassador Ibrahim Kumibari, they ask, he said the 52 or 53 million leons yearly, na yearly
no,
or
no, term by term.
By term, then government they pay. The program Good Morning Salon, they continue. They come to you from the Society for Radio Democracy 98.1 FM. If you just tune in, they listen to the Minister for Basic and Senior Secondary Education. We they talk about preparation for school in European one we next Monday. But concerned only come up from different schools them for SECA the school subsidy, and one of them schools them the we say some principals them now both districts say if government not give school subsidy for 2023-2025, then say they no go open school the term where governments don't pick. Then principally talk this to Radio Democracy where them be they talk about concern we then get for sake of different challenge them we indicate. Well, we join you know Kabia as you get them concerned.
Reverend Umarola Haikuruma, me na the Vice President SLTU. The issue of subsidy don't embarrass people them too much. You get for do admission, you get for print prospectus, you get for pre-book list, and they not get money. So we want for MEC, we all put to voice as a union, we na the umbrella body for them. We join them for MEC, we put pressure on government. Now if government we been don't see, and this I want to let you go on record, government we been don't see they offer them facilities, you know able. He can humbly, with all humility, talk say we're not able. Let the people then collect school fees. Let them monitor them. Let them go, they audit them. That's why it don't happen. But let them not just leave them in limbo. It creates embarrassment for them. Don't do your own interventions for teachers. Where will they offer assistance to them? The assistance ranging from education, medical, academic support, will they give them. People and they don't benefit in this part of the country, another part. But the one we get for this now heads of schools, where now they get for reopen schools. Then get for change board then. One leaf board now 180,000, 1 inch board. So if you get for admit picking them, for the whole year they don't pull them benches there. Chalk now 20,000, 25,000 will they buy them. Learning materials not they come. And government MB don't say. So if government not able, let it come back graciously and say, I'm not able. But you not go run government with that kind of a thing. Deception. The head teacher then self now people then. Then quality people now administrators. Like how the director general then are in office. Like how them MDAs and boss and so teacher, a principal and head teacher then at their own school. So why you for reduce them to mockery? So we they say government they say one thing, not they do the other thing, and you don't run government with deception. This we don't talk. It's clear that if they're not able, we got to generate this kind of concern. Let the parent themselves know because waiting at the missing link, the parent they don't know how principal then they suffer. The parent they don't know how head teacher then they suffer. So now we they try for now generate now make we engage radio stations. We got for the talk on CTA meetings. When like one principal na SS he called me pan meeting, I will go tell the parent there waiting that the government is shortcomings because they don't set people then against the principals and the teachers. So we are saying anytime any school head get CTA meeting, let call with the SFT representative. Let we go tell them what we don't do and what we not do it. Therefore, let them support the people there. School fee now just 50 leo. 50 leo for 3 months, parents then go pay them. Then they subject them to that kind of batin and day.
Me na Luceni Hilton Gogra. Me na the current chairperson of CPSS Board District. We na educators there, but we don't see say the government they talk one thing and they do the other. We not go continue for allow this because if we continue for allow this, then the government of the day, the free quality education, the human capital development, that particular goal will not be achieved. For a whole academic year, 2024-25 academic year, we get with colleagues and schools them where government not even pay first-term subsidy. Also, them pay some schools them first-term subsidy, they underpay them. We get others where them pay them in full. As you they take this interview from me, second and third term school subsidy for last academic year, when a 2024-25 school year, government not paying it. We get issues with some of we colleagues and the suppliers, they don't take them to police. We don't even go talk with the suppliers for negotiate things out. And we cannot continue for do this. It's not good for us as heads of school. They look at and say, government, they mock we. We are equally to the tax as any directors within government offices because we have human resources, what they deal with, when are both picking them and teachers them. But the kind of schools and what they head, we are more than even some directors. We are dealing with 50, 60, 70 teachers in the school. We have 1,000, 2,000 PPs in the school. Whereas those directors on 10, now 10 people, 14 people, 6 or 9 people they are dealing with. So the 1st of September, if government renege on its responsibility to not pay the backlog of 2024-25 academic year, second term school subsidy and third term, and even this academic year we are to start, 2025-26 academic year, first term subsidy are not paid, then we don't think if there is possible for school to reopen.
I'm Festus F. Laming, NACO chairperson both district. NACO na National Council of Head Teachers. It don't be a while why the government just they downplay no we, so to speak, because if we don't say no ask the parent then for pay a cent, and go give you subsidy, and go give you teaching and learning materials. In fact, the government get a trick way they play. Always if you pay one term, by right if you pay 3 terms for the year. Sometimes they pay only 2 terms and not they ever pay the other term. They will go into the other year. Now so the thing they continue. So we say we don't sit down and we don't fit say no. If government say no take anything from the parent, then if they do likewise, they pay like some of the colleagues they now 4 times this now. They don't get nothing. We call them subsidy. Teaching and learning material. Now 3 years this, they come again. So where are we heading? Would they buy chalk? And the money where they pay primary school now just 10 leons. Considering all the things they would they buy. We and the principal then are the same chalk would they buy, the same box they would buy, bench and the same thing would they buy. Then would they pay 10 leons for primary school? Why they pay 50 and 60,000 for the GSS and the SS? So we say don't touch and fit see if the government not ready for pay this money again. Make it just tell we they will go ask the parent, they will go sit down, negotiate with the parent there. Which then go to pay per term. Government not pay this money. And even the first term fee, because it's supposed to pay before ever they reopen school. If you not pay, then we say we not say we go school. Oh, now that we don't resolve at.
The program Good Morning Salon they continue, and inside the studio we get between the Minister of Basic and Senior Secondary Education, Conrad Sackey, where they have for talk about different things we don't happen at the education sector, make especially the preparedness where the ministry don't prepare for say school open next week Monday. But before the minister can respond to concern them, we come out from Principal Lenabo, we they take another story if we get to do with school subsidies. The Executive Director for the Advocacy for the Voiceless Sierra Leone, Ambassador Mohamed Lamin Sherif, say since 2023 to 2025, government not pay school subsidy the yet. Ambassador Mohamed Lamin Sherif talked in Sawanita with Radio Democracy. For one press release where the organization pool, who said they call on government for address teacher and principal and welfare and save the crisis system where school in the face ahead of September where school go open. We explain more to Karifa to Conte inside this interview for they concern them where they get.
This is now one of the things we the civil society they look at and the present situation where they affect rural unions, more especially the vulnerable people in this country. And teachers them, they take them one of the vulnerable because teachers them now they control the educational system in any development country. Teachers them, and we say education is better than silver and gold. So why teachers them do not get the silver? Whilst the politician they only gold, but the politician they decide for all the silver and the gold. The teachers they suffer. So we pull this press release, we look at the challenges already they're facing. Now school get for open.
Okay, so now let's look at within some of the challenges we identify say they affect the teachers and also go affect the school in open one inside the September.
Well, the challenges they always see towards the teachers them, all them be the meeting from the past months, the 25, the 26, across the country, starting Kailan, Kono, Bombali, Putloko, all over the 16 districts. Teachers are crying. So now the challenges they so don't see the subsidies. Or government grants give. Government just stop for the past 3 years. And these subsidies now did the teachers and the principal that they take sustain the school. Buy chalk, buy record books and other things. They think they're not be buy. Government be the supply, but government just cut off everything. But now the principal and the teachers they're facing a constraint. So we look at them for say government don't marginalize the teachers them in this country. So we need for advocates on behalf of the teachers them. The government listen and address the situation. And number 2, 5,000 teachers them out of the payroll, they just pull them. And whilst teachers them, then they're alive. Also ghost teachers.
So it's not the easy way make them say them pull them.
Well then look at them for saying a ghost teacher or then get a system or before say the system not pick teachers them. Because maybe experts for say this government will forget automated system or they track all the teachers them in this country. Whatever district you day, it they track you. The minister just the day in office, they look what they go on. But this not the app in a saloon. And this education, now one of the flagship of the president, Dr. Julius Madabio. So that is why we call on the president and the minister of basic and senior secondary school for address this situation If they not address the situation and the teacher they don't talk for say reopening of school, not get for happen. They strike, they didn't us. And that not get for call, we wanted for we as a civil society. We look at them, think they need to go. Usai papa and mama the feds, now we get for come inside it. We not reach blow them. We not the mediator between the government and the people. So that is why we police press release, so that the government listen to this cry of the teachers and the challenges of the teachers, may they address them immediately.
So what are some of the challenges and crisis where the teacher then say you say then they face we make then the strike way before school open is accept?
Number one, non-payments of 2 and 3 times fee subsidies. Day, delete of the names of the eligible teachers from the government's payroll. Another one, lack of provision of teachers and learning material. Complications of around the BECE checklist. Another one, non-payment of performance basic frame PBF and insufficient subsidies allowance to the school. Problem associated with the new curriculum leading to the formation of WAS. Discrepancy in the salary scale of promoted teachers and school leaders. So now some of them think they are the principal and the teachers them put. They want the government listen to them, they address their situation, they are just don't call so.
Okay, so if you say this go affect the school in OP1?
Well, it affects big time. It affects picking them get so many problems at home because they don't sit down. At least all school open, they're able to go engage. If the school not open, there is a problem for this education and one. And we look at now, Becker and Was get for can take place. So all that in a lapses to the government. And we don't want this free quality education. No, the government don't put one of the priority may go in vain. So that is why we call on the president, we call on the minister himself. So may they able to address the situation immediately before the opening of the school.
Well, you be then listen to the executive director for the advocacy for the voiceless Sierra Leone, Ambassador Mohamed Lamin Sherif, where we they talk to we reporter Karifa to Content Insider interview day. As he says, since 2023 to date, government not pay school subsidy yet for different school name. Where this is say, don't the Ambogden school year and save the school reopening we get for be next week. Monday. The program Good Morning Salon they continue and we will bring up this edition. My name na Kabia.
And Musa Kamara na my name and I see the minister they take notes. You don't flop one page almost. So we can respond to their concerns that we the people had all raised. Let's start with the school authorities and Abo who will be played earlier before the break.
Okay, I think in a sense in the issue where the school authorities now make, I already do address them because what I had to say to you is that their own concern was that government for pay second and third term before school open.
And first term of this year.
No, wait first. Let's take one by one. Finance will talk about. So for second and third term, I said end up begin pay second term. And we process the paperwork for the third term. But let me just, on that same token, let me jump back to waiting the executive director for the voiceless. At the camp, let me just go back to waiting the executive director for the voiceless say. I go really advise and strongly advise the executive director for the voiceless for spend a little bit of time for do a little bit of research because government pay 100% subsidies in 2023 to 2024. Government paid 2 terms for that year day, and then at the start of this last academic year we just done, government paid the 3rd term. So go back to us 2023. That is very inaccurate, and I would really like for doing research before we can public and can make them assertion and day. But let me also set this context. You know, I like to talk about education finance. I even go abroad and we talk about education finance. I even write article on education finance. So let me just go something. No, it's important. It's important.
When it comes to education finance.
It's good. No, let me tell you why. Let me tell you why it's important. No. Let me tell you why.
I need for taking back to something where you say earlier that the school subsidy for second and third term, where the principals say the demand for, they don't pay the second term and the third term they in process. When finally they go get this money?
No, but I just tell you, say we work with the Ministry of Finance. Then don't begin pay. Which I can tell you, as of yesterday, the information I get is that then don't begin pay second term. Yes, and we dey process the paperwork for the third term. We dey try for do that before school open on next week. But let me, and again, but now Ministry of Finance now in the control land. I just to tell you waiting and tell me, yes. But waiting, the reason why I make you say I want to set a context, because I think it's important that the public understand this. This government is committed to free quality education. Let we get that very clear. It committed to a free quality education. We put a significant amount of a budget on the free quality school education program, higher than most other African countries, including like in South Africa, now 6% in the put. But no, let me just please. I just want to make you give me a little bit of time for the yes. But the reason why I make you see, I say last set you a context. Let me tell you what thing they happen in terms of leakages. Now, because of the problem we will get with our school leaders, now put them picking them for take was, we don't make allocation of 13 million leones for private was. Yes? And then, currently, we will work with the Conference of Principal on the submission that we they make for WAS 2026. In that submission, we on data the tell you see, then get 124,000 duplicate names. In other words, let I explain this to you. Conrad Sackey, a register na Freetown, a register na Moyamba, a register na Bombali, a register na Karine. Yes? When Conrad Sackey go take that exam, now one side no more able to take the exam. We mean to say all the other hand there, in order able to take the exam. But let me just do the costing for you for that hand. 124,000. Let's assume government they pay $25 per candidate. That works out at $3.1 million. With $3.1 million, we they pay subsidies. So you see, now budget with the talk about now government money. So one of my strategy now for make sure say we close the leakages here, because within the window that we get with government they allocate, we were able to pay all the here. But if we save the wasted money here, then of course we get for struggle. So let me also give you another statistics. For NPSC, there were 5,000 absences. We know from real data we would begin to analyze right now, some of them 5,000 picking and they now duplicates. Yes, but 5,000 multiplied by 25. Then do the maths. It's about $125,000. All of them thing and the way you close down, you're able to pay subsidies. So I just want to establish one thing. If government still got they pay them money, it means to say within the envelope we'll get, the fiscal envelope we'll get, we will able to pay that if we close down on some of them tier we try for do right now. So you think
wastage now one of the things them we make governments not able to reach the subsidy demand per term?
But let me give you this is what I want you to understand this. Whether them PKR go to that exam or not, government they pay that money. This na money where we for use for do other thing them, including for recruit more teachers. So I just want for those set a context, say the commitment of government is clear. Yes, we are also working on the system for make sure say we get efficiency, and that's what we work on right now. But we are the call on the school leaders for let we work together on this one so that we know go in a different position in the future.
So who are responsible for this wastage or this leakage?
So let me tell you something. When it comes on the duplicates, it's schools that provide us with the data. Not the governments they provide data for the schools. It's not government that provide the not the government that provide the data. Now the school that they provide the data.
Mr. Minister, this is not new.
Yeah.
Then duplicates here.
Yeah.
And I remember the last day they announced this year NPSC results. You say even though this is not new, but this higher pass I in the so which one they do for sister on work with 10 school heads there and self work for sister on able for watch the data, clean the system and know the actual amount of picking them where governments go pay so that governments go able for use them couple for address and the other school challenge the way they did.
Okay, so let's start off from last year. The one that we not submit them picking them for take the WAS, they take disciplinary action. So it's one of the things that we would engage the union on. We don't tell them what we intend for do. We don't put a group together with the work with the union for make sure say the sanctions the way we go impose, now sanction the way comply with the law. And then we get the Ministry of Labour self with the help with Panandi for make sure say we get it right. So then at the first we take administrative sanctions against people and we then at the situation. Now we can out to the duplicates, the 124,000 duplicates we'll get. We don't engage the conference of principal for work with we on this one. We take a consultative approach on this particular one. So then don't go through Western Urban, then don't clean their own data, then self-admit that there are duplicates in the system. We don't ask them now for work on a national level on some of these things. So when at the year, some people in another place, then they say, you know, they get ineligible students that will they exclude from the system. I don't know what they talk about. Because then some of your members, now they self-docker, they admit, say, there are these duplicates, and we they work for clean that and they right now.
Now, my colleague earlier asked you, say, if government still committed for GIDI 22% to book learning, you say yes, then they give. And they respond to the civil society, say, government in the past years pay full school subsidy, but now the same 22% will take from and pay school subsidy. Why, if government still pay the school subsidy, una not the 22% rather una not able to pay school subsidy for a whole year or for 2 terms in the last academic year? What are the missing link?
No, but I just say
you receive the same money, but you be they perform the function traditionally for performance.
The economy is not to the education no more. Yes, so I'm just saying if you get something like the MPOX,
but when they get one you share according to what you admit, when still they get the 22%. So that means MPOX not above the education sector.
No, but in finance, yes, you get what you get at the budget. That's an aspiration. Okay, you get an aspiration at the budget. Say this now what you will get from the year, yes, and this now what you do your allocation, and then you get cash flow. Cash flow now the real money, waiting car in terms of revenues, which you able access, and which you also these unplanned spending, which can affect your cash flow. That don't mean to say you're not committed to 22%.
So do
you understand what I'm saying?
Now being commitments not come in the other years.
No. I'm just saying the commitment is there because it's in the budget. So government is say I get 100 loans. Yes, of that 100 loans, I take 22 loans, I put onto education. Okay. That's not then at the budget. That's not an aspiration. But then you cash flow, you forget the 100 loans first before you begin spend. And then once you don't get your 100 loans within your budget, something come up where you not be planned for. You still need for use 100 loans for tackle that. Not so. Now that's what they say. Okay. But the commitment is there.
The program Good Morning Salon, they continue. We still get with the Minister of Basic and Senior Secondary Education, Conrad Sackey. Well, inside the program now, we continue to look at issues them, and we take another what we get to do with book learning business in the country. One member in the Education Committee in Parliament, Honorable Abdul Karim Kamara, say from 2018 to now one grant government don't supply textbook to school them na the country, and people say still they play plenty couple for make them picking and go school. Honorable Abdul Karim Kamara talk this inside one interview with Radio Democracy, where he made talk about the assessment of the free quality education program where government they implement. When he explained more to a reporter Usman Kamara inside this interview.
After 5 and 2 years plus in the new term, if I read the education sector, I'll get 10 over 100.
Why you decide for get 10 over 100?
President Bill promised forget school where they run textbooks, exercise books, uniform, as you see now the Bill Gates interview President Bill do. For textbooks, they only supply textbooks in 2019, and that textbooks they don't supply. Now let we learn that they give that textbooks to government, and for more than supply to date, government has not given a single textbook to any school across the country. They also be promised for equipped laboratory equipment for schools across the country. That has not been done. They also be promised, say, they will continue for exercise book. Shockingly, in 2019 to 2022, up to date, they will then stop for exercise book to schools. The exercise books, so they get to picking them now a total of 3 exercise book per picking. But come to think of it, when you talk about free education, you're talking about a 10,000 Leone's education for primary schools, and that is not forthcoming. There has never been a time in the history of this country where government don't pay subsidies from first to third term. Then we either pay 2 term, 1 year, then pay another 1 term, the other academic year, maybe some other academic year they pay the last academic year 1 term, then can pay another 2 academic year. A school system gets many structures. We talk about the wash facilities in those schools. They are as poor as people don't expect them. We've increased the subsidy of schools. Just come to think of it, you get a situation in which you have primary school kids where they go school, then they use the restroom. Where do you think they get water from? They don't have waters in those schools. Come to think of this, Usman. You have a situation in which these are the voters who dance and who go out in the street as early as 5 o'clock in the morning to vote for us. Can we afford to give them a kind of education where them picking themselves able to get a good wash facility in their schools? And you go to some other schools, they don't even get enough chairs in the classrooms. And the subsidy where government is supposed to pay, now we're supposed to use for fabricate furnitures. Right. Because the local government will help the schools and for fabricate furnitures from the start of the year, December. Now they give them half money per subvention. And come to think of it, when you go secondary school, you say, oh, it better small, GSS will they pay 30 or 50,000 Leones. But come to think of it, before picking they go GSS 1, they do admission. At the admission, the things that we impairing that they buy for boy picking, they go between 450 to 500. Now impairing that they buy for let they admit them to school. When they don't admit them, how much government they pay for 3 years waiting at GSS? Government they pay 450. So waiting the parent they pay, we pay 500. They don't pay more than waiting government supposed to pay for. For let you know, say the quality not gain at the education sector. 2 major factors. One, ask yourself the question: how many of us who are actually leaders we get the confidence for selling picking and going at their schools and we not get wash facility? Let's use some moral conscience as politicians. If you cannot send your child to a school where you pay 30,000 for the voter in Peking, why are you doing it?
Right. Now, Honorable AKK, if you talk to government official, them go tell you, say, the free quality education, very successful because they don't get more enrollment into school than before.
I'll tell you one way interesting, but you see, one time we don't talk and say, if at all the anti-corruption, they pay attention. There are certain basic things. By the time we introduce the free quality education, using the 2015 census, we assume, say, the data was 2 million Pekinese and then between the age of 1 year to 18 years. Meaning that bracket of Pekinese they're supposed to be in a school. So we cater for 2 million Pekinese. But interestingly, between me and you two, now every Sierra Leonean they attend government school? No. You have kids in the private schools. Are they being catered for? Are we giving them allowances? Are we giving them books? No, we are not. So in actual sense, the 2 million where they say that they're in a school, no, they're not reach up to 2 million within our government schools. That's not one. Secondly, if you listen and you follow the presidential speech between 2019 to 2021, one time the president they say we'll get 2 million Peking in a school. The other time they say we'll get about 1.9 Peking in a school. Then the figures are not rhyming up. But come to think about it, there is a boost in the enrollment. That's what happened. At the time when they introduced the free quality education, you will get community schools. You will get then small private schools will be in the communities. When people hear of the free quality, they rush them picking and come because nobody wants to pay actually. But if you watch, from the time we introduced free quality education, if they're giving us the real statistics, you find out say more of the community schools them, more of the private schools them, don't get more picking than almost than they get originally. Come to think of it, how many picking and government don't deprive over the years not for take once?
Right. Still entrance day for GSS speaking there, you will sit NPSC for go GSS 1, and you know somebody we don't monitor the education sector. So you find out during you work now some schools say we get for do with the entrance.
It go just if you go around Freetown, waiting we consider and review as top private schools just for buy form. Now then school and you're paying 1 million just for the form. If you go to the medium private schools and they buy form 500. When you go to even the one that they take 1 million per term, then form now 250. In the midst of this disparity, government is only paying 30 millions.
So if you go make recommendation concerning the challenges that will happen, what think will be some of the recommendation here?
One, we forget a clear policy on our private examinations. Who's take the exams and what's not the criteria. It is so frustrating. I want to say this clearly. See, the Minister of Education is responsible for most of the young people that we don't go into drugs. Imagine waiting, it means for let somebody don't do from JSS 1 to SS3, waiting to sit worse. Then you frustrate and not take the exam.
But again, if you check, it will tell you say now the leader them now in school and they cause some of the issues them with them picking their face, not the ministry.
Let's go back to the first year. The first year, YXC people for send in the waiting safe. The Minister of Education did not communicate to the schools. It is the responsibility of the Minister of Education for communicate to the school and not YX. So there was a miscommunication. Who is responsible? Second year, come. You say it will submit to you. You verified. You verified and send the data to YX. YX asks for something different. At the end of the day, one thing don't come out very clear. In all 3 exams where they don't stop picking them for seats, government they come in for do verification, cut down the number and still pay. So what is good to do due diligence and ensure them people and they take the exams before the time. So for me, we have to have a clean slate on who takes the exams. We will do examination and procedures, everything by SS2. So they became looking for seats. They go prepare in mind. All of them, the emblems are doing the ministry. They follow no see they are not being genuine with their excuses. If not this principal is responsible for how many people are not seats, why do you still keep him as a principal?
Well, if they listen to one member in the Education Committee in Parliament, Honorable Abdul Karim Kamara, we been they talk to Usman Kamara inside that interview day. As he say, from 2018 to now one green term government don't supply textbook them to government school them and people in say still they pay plenty couple for make them picking and go school. The program Good Morning Salon they continue and we still get the minister. We they come over to you, Mr. Minister. You don't listen to it in one member na the Education Committee in Parliament, Honorable Abdul Karim Kamara don't talk. In a series of concern them, it's about the 30 million so they pay for picking them when say they increase them. Talk about the picking the way not able for seats and instead talk about saying now one great time government don't give book learning material to government school them. So waiting will be respond for sake of this concern them where AKK is.
Okay, I think in a sense it does raise quite a few concerns. So let's go through them one by one. Firstly, it talk about textbooks. Let me just give you one example for just answer that question. It is not true. It's not accurate. As they talk to you right now, we introduce foundational learning now with schools. Foundational learning, they target P0, then are the one they pre-primary school, to P4, then with the class 4 in the old days. We don't develop a new curriculum and a new syllabus for this part of education. In addition to that, we don't develop teaching and learning materials for this for P1 and P2. We train all the teachers na P1 and P2 as I speak. Last year we trained 14,000 teachers. This year we train relatively the same amount of numbers, about 14,000. As I talk to you right now, then they train the teacher there for P0. So we don't develop a new curriculum for P0. We don't develop a new syllabus, and we don't train master trainer then. The master trainer then right now, as I talk to you this week, I dey go visit some of the training thing where they do na free tongue. So it is not accurate that this what the honorable they say. As a matter of fact, let me just tell you, when we just bear me a second. When we start free quality school education, we will get like not all man, not one-to-one, we will get the books themselves. But now I tell you, say now one-to-one, one picking to one book for each of in subject.
Every semester. No, every year.
I'd say we don't introduce foundational learning, so P0 to P2, when I do the work on now, all the picking and they get one-to-one book for their subjects, and not to just the textbook, not to just the text. Yeah.
What's in the P2 and P0?
P0 now pre-primary school. So government make a commitment, say 1 year of pre-primary school, government will fund them. So now the P0. P1 now waiting at class 1, now be class 1. And P2 now class 2. So as I tell you right now, not only we do we don't supply all the books. Then someday na cancel store, and then they begin go inside school next week, and some don't already go into the school them. So it is not right that government not supply books for the last
for primary and secondary.
Yes, because we start with this na primary school. We start by phase. So now primary school we focus on right now. Now I make I tell you say some of the reasons why we don't supply teaching and learning materials is because we don't introduce new curriculum. If you introduce new curriculum, it not make sense for you to go supply the old books. So the books then get for reflect what's in the new curriculum right now. That's what we are doing. So the other thing where I just want to just mention, I think he mentioned this fact back say, I'm responsible for all them picking they take push. Let me go step by step. For the 2 years we don't get problem with WAS. Government don't make a commitment, say then go pay for people and for do private WAS. In the first year, we get for go get executive clearance for pay for them PKR. So that's not happen. This year, na me on budget, inside that 22% will be the talk about. Now they are restructured for make sure say we pay for them picking there. And also give you the amounts where we put aside for that. 13 million. Yes. Now where we there now we don't send information to school them for giving all the picking away supposed to take the exam. We the struggle for get some of them. Some of them PKR no exist. And they keep on saying this. Some of them PKR no exist.
So it's one go different. One not go get the same challenge where you say who gets per NPSC last year and this year when we increase and per the worst back we been get government's been get up. So it's one go do different for say the picking them back where government they can spend this plenty couple for pay for take the exam or not get duplicates name them.
Well, I just tell you say this year. The app they use don't identify 124,000. We don't go back to the conference of principals for work which we because of them one and then are duplicates. But inside and duplicates there are some real individuals. For make we not miss out, we don't work with the school them for make sure say that they happen. And we don't get some success, we don't do Western area, and some of the district and don't begin supply that. By the end of this week, we will not clear that, Andy. No. Yes? So we take action for all of these things. We know that's the left and so. But let's just do a couple of things. The last thing where you will show me, I just want for those give feedback on some of them things with them previous speakers and would say. Okay. Yeah? So one, somebody say, in terms of them teacher, they were not in a school. What thing we they do for make sure say that they happen again? We get a new program we call Videa that we give all the school them a tablet with them for use for take register of them teachers. Then they use the teacher them bio data for make sure say so then they use them fingerprints for make sure say they are the real personnel. We don't procure about 8,000 tablets where for begin go into schools this year. So that we use an electronic gadget for make sure say we actually monitor teacher attendance. Then there is also this issue about performance-based financing, PBF, we will be give primary schools. So somebody be raise this issue, we say, then just stop her. Yes, then stop her, because it's not part of government improvisation. This now be a World Bank funded program. Now be a pilot for see if you get a number of performance indicators, and then you give school then an incentive for meet them performance indicator, then they whether then they go improve learning outcomes. Yes, and so that pilot they don't come to an end. So that's why we stop them. Not so because government don't get money or because government don't want for pay. This was coming purely from World Bank as a pilot.
Now, the honorable member make series of points them we get for do to wash facilities and a lot of things that we make mention of. But away from what the honorable member talk about, where some of them you don't respond to them, you are aware of the reports we Center for Accountability and Rule of Law (CAL) put out for the free quality education. We said and say, according to the own reports, now only 16% school receive stationery and only 5% are then benefit from the school feeding. I don't see these reports.
It's not accurate. Yes,
but you don't see the reports.
No, I don't see the report, but it's not accurate. So let me tell you what happened at my ministry. Let me tell you. So any NGO can do a own study and pull a report. We encourage all NGOs where they do research for at least come to the ministry and work with the ministry. We not get no evidence that first of all take place. Secondly, we always encourage NGOs that way they do reports for make them come back to the ministry for validation. So we will be part of the validation process if they not come back.
So they discard their report here we then put out.
I am just saying to you, saying at the discard, there are some accurate things in the report, but I tell you, a large majority, the two things that we talk, so they're not accurate. So there are quite a lot of things that were not accurate.
So according to Una, how much percent of schools and the benefits from school feeding?
If you go to the budget of 2025, you forget 2,900 schools. 2,900 schools. If we target about 818,000 beginning.
Go ahead.
Yes?
Let's go ahead.
Yeah, I don't give you the figures.
The program Good Morning Salon, they continue. Musa?
Yes, indeed. They can look at messages the moon. I don't send on 077-981-981. Also, now we Facebook page for SECA, the book learning sector, and for the Minister of Education. This one, see, Mr. Minister, you've been talking about change of curriculum. What is the change of curriculum? Is it true that you've discontinued the current curriculum that the students are supposed to take the was having used to?
For Mystic Nadwazak, they say, Mr. Minister, there are still untrained and unqualified teachers in our classroom. I think your ministry should do more to ensure your ministry do proper monitoring in school facility in the country. Second, wash availability is another major challenge in the school environment. This one they come up from Mystic Nadwazak.
This one from Mohammed Almami Dumbia on our Facebook page. They say, good morning, Mr. Minister. What about the salary increment for teachers? The cost of living is so high now.
This one they say from Henry Side Kamara on our Facebook page, they say teachers are suffering with no payment of salaries. Heads of school are straining to manage school without payment of subsidies for the past 2 terms. If this demand is not met, schools in the country will not reopen.
The program Good Morning Salon, they continue. We continue for look at more text message from this now from Mark 10 and New England Ville. They say, Mr. Minister, can you confirm or deny report of discontinue the current curriculum for the upcoming West Africa School Certificate Examination, and what are the implications for students?
And this one, they say the minister don't confirm, say government committed forget 22% still per the country in budget, but still this sector they get challenged from time memorial. Waiting and they challenge them where the sector they get, where government's not able for handle with all the plenty couple where then they spend.
This one from Anthony Samkin. They say this not good for government to say now with the struggle with school subsidy issue.
And this other one, they say plenty school and alunge they not receive yet the subvention. Waiting government go do.
That's one again from Anthony Samkin. He says, so how much did government actually spend as a percentage to education? Real actual figures, not budgeted.
This other one, they say the ministry for really try and address them challenge here, where they say that they get go students them, because year in, year out, anytime they announce any public exam results, we they see then go say picking them not take the exam, and this don't be of concern. And for say the ministry they need check and they pay back money to them. This one really not good for the country in education system.
This one from Chinade Koki in our Facebook page. They say 98.1, please ask the minister when are they going to pay the teachers from Lewe Land fund for the media classes that had just ended.
This one from Jibril Siddiq Kamara on our Facebook page. They say schools in Mafoki Chiefdom are not benefiting from this free quality from the school feeding program.
Last one for me for now. Now for sake of the road maintenance fund administration story we will run. This one from Amara Barcelona. They say there are a lot of roads across the country that need urgent maintenance. For McKinney roads like Main Referral Hospital, Makama Road, Frontier Road, and a whole lot of others are in deplorable condition.
Well, the final one they read now from Mark 10 and Englandville, they say, Mr. Minister, what steps have been taken to address school bus safety and management problem and ensure students overall safety and well-being? Also, what support systems are in place for students, particularly those with special need, to ensure their success in the new academic year?
Yes, Mr. Minister, we'll come to you, but this from Henry Said Kamar. They say, let the minister focus on the resolutions from the CPSS and not the NACOT, which is an impediment to the reopening of schools on September 8th.
Well,
we respond to the message here, and if anyone we think is necessary, if time they will take them back.
Okay, let me go through very quickly. In terms of WASH, quite a lot of things in common WASH. I would say to you, I accept that WASH is a challenge, but we work with World Bank and we don't put money aside for begin do wash facilities now we school them. And the way we would do them, we know one for doing the way we don't do in the past. We will open new school, we go get flush toilets and all of that, and then sometimes then cut the pipe, then you know get access to the toilet and they again. So we now have a new model we would pull from India where it's more sustainable. But we don't put money aside for wash facilities now with school. The second thing people in the ask say, when they talk about ghost picking them and all that, and they or duplicates and waiting. The solution to this problem is simple. Now for link the NIN numbers to the exam process, we don't start a conversation with NCRA. And we start off with the primary school then first. We want to make sure say that they in place so that every picking will get a unique identifier. Now somebody also mentioned about the new curriculum, whether we don't scrap the new curriculum. The answer to that is no, we have not scrapped this new curriculum. The new curriculum that nine will use for 2026, but for make sure say we not disadvantage any school, we already do right to work and ask for the two curriculum them for one for the next 2 years. And so the reason why we not come out yet, we just wait. We don't get an agreement at the national level, but it needs to be ratified at the regional level. So we will come back once all of the anecdote done and give assurance to the public on how it will run. Then the next one, there is this thing about school feeding not in all the areas. School feeding not in the one country. Even in districts, school feeding there are 15 districts out of the 16 districts. And even in a district, you get vulnerable areas than we school feeding they run. So not to all side school feeding they on areas of deprivation and not your more affluent areas in the district. So now that make no day na all side on a old school na the district. Then somebody also mentioned about school buses. School buses don't become a concern for ourselves. We don't hear who they go on their road show there. People when they talk about that. So I convened a meeting recently, about 2 weeks ago, where we called the chief administrators from all the districts where they run school buses for we can strategize on how best we can run this effectively. As they talk yesterday, they get a meeting because they agree say they will set up a technical working group, and the technical working group meets yesterday on this. So this is something that we work on. Then there is this issue about discrepancies or teacher that they promote and waiting. We get quite a lot of principals then, for example, now with school there, when they in an acting capacity. The Teaching Service Commission get a quota now the budget for assess and promote about 3,000 teachers. So what we agree when we meet with SLTU is that we go ring fence 1,000 of that for rectify the one way they on an acting capacity and confirm them into the post. And for the one way no fall within that, if you dare towards your retirement age, we go also make sure we fast track you on so that when you retire at the highest level. But that is something that the Teaching Service Commission, they work with the SLTU. So those are some of the issues that we raise, and these now may respond to those issues.
Okay, in Conrad Sackey, the Minister for Basic and Senior Secondary Education, the program, they talk about the preparation for school in reopen one. Mr. Minister, for somebody we just join in the program, what is the message of assurance for Monday?
Well, I really want to make the teacher, the school leaders, they work with me. Me and the no day at variance. This is the interesting thing. We need we get a commitment for pay subsidies. We work with the Ministry of Finance for make sure we work on that day. And as I say, we don't begin pay for second term, and we process the paperwork for third term. So I just want to give them the assurance that we do everything possible for make sure that we address the genuine concerns. So the meeting we'll get with SLTU 2 days ago was very constructive. Very, very constructive. In some areas, we don't put on the one way they address immediately, the one way we go take a little bit of time, we go for put on at the budget for we don't agree on how we do the handling. So I really, really want to make them just exercise patience. We are not at variance with them. I'm glad yourself when they talk about teaching and learning materials, because a good teacher will always want teaching and learning materials, and we because we want for bring quality into the system, we want to make sure we support them in terms of that.
Thank you very much, Conrad Sackey, Minister for Basic and Senior Secondary Education. We wish you all the best in the ministry for school reopen one next Monday. We go continue Radio Democracy, go monitor the space and inform the public again for anything will happen. And plenty thank you for joining us at the edition of the program. Good morning, Salon, Mr. Minister.
Thank you.